All right, listen closely, traveler. You're about to step into a place where the maps of our world start to blur, where twisted routes and compass lines draw the very map of your destiny. Pay attention, because what you're about to hear might just save your soul. Let's begin. First things first, you need to understand the ground you're walking on. We're talking about something called a liminal space. Now, this isn't a spot on a map you can just go find. It's a moment that finds you. Think about it. A deserted train station after the last train is gone, a silent hallway in the middle of the night, or yeah, a dusty crossroads at midnight. These are the thresholds, the thin places where our world and others start to overlap, and where some of the biggest decisions of your life are made. And this is where it gets really interesting. This is the geometry of fate. The idea is that the land itself, a fork in the road, the shadowy edge of a forest, is a mirror, a reflection of the spiritual choices you're facing. Every path leads somewhere, right? Well, that's true in this world and in what comes after. The crossroads is in your heart, but you can see it right there on the ground beneath your feet. So picture a place just like that. As a tired traveler walks closer, two ancient, very powerful beings are watching. They're here to argue about how to manage human destiny. One of them controls the structured, signposted roads, while the other rules the wild, unknown places. And they're both looking down at this mortal like an insect under glass, just a piece in their cosmic game. Our first player stands where the roads cross, a master of clear paths and even clearer contracts. He's a ruler of demons, known to us as Mephistopheles, the king of the crossroads. For him, it's all about currency. Human desire is something to be bought, and a soul, well, that's just the final asking price. You can almost hear him sneering at the gods, his voice like rustling old parchment. I offer a simple transaction to forge pacts for human souls. He's mocking the whole idea of divine judgment. For him, this isn't about good or evil, it's just business. And his method is key. His domain is the crossroads, because it's a place of human commerce, a place where deals are struck. He uses pacts, but to get you to sign, he'll disguise himself as a cunning nobleman or a wise scholar, someone you'd trust. But his goal has nothing to do with wisdom or testing you. It's just simple, straightforward spiritual ruin. But then, from the untamed edges, where the map starts to fray into wilderness, another figure steps out. And this is the domain of Wonin. This isn't a place for transactions. It's a place for ancient, unforgiving truth. He adjusts a wide-brimmed hat that keeps his face hidden in shadow, and he leans on his staff. When he speaks, his voice sounds like a storm gathering in the distance. You trade in souls, but here at the wild boundaries, mortal fate is weighed by my ancient wisdom. You see, this isn't a negotiation. It's a judgment. And here's the stark difference. Wotan's domain is the gallows, the forest edge, places of sacrifice, where that veil between worlds is paper thin. His method isn't a deal. It's a brutal test of character. He shows up as Der Wanderer, the old traveler, not to trick you, but to see who you really are when you're faced with the hard reality of your choices. So, you've got these two figures, right? Total opposites, you think. A merchant of ruin versus a judge of character. One deals in commerce, the other in cosmic law. But as they're arguing over this poor traveler, something funny happens. A surprising connection starts to appear, a shared shadow that falls over them both. And this really gets to the heart of the puzzle. Are they really so different? Or are they just two sides of the same coin, two reflections in the same dark mirror, both meddling with humanity from behind a clever disguise? And here's the twist. For all their different goals, their strategy is exactly the same. They both use the identity of a wanderer. They both use this supernatural disguise to hide who they really are, one demonic, one divine, so they can walk among us, maybe as a permanent traveling companion, and influence our choices without anyone ever knowing. So here's the real takeaway. They aren't just opposites. They're intertwined layers of the same archetype, the same mythological soul of travel and magic and secret influence. The demon's disguise hides his evil. The god's cloak hides a divine light so bright it would burn your eyes to ash. They are both the mercurial shadow. Okay, so the folktale of their debate is over, but the warning, that's just beginning. Because this isn't just an old story about gods and demons. It's a timeless map of the choices that all of us have to face, whether we can see the map makers or not. You have to remember this. These liminal spaces and their guardians, they're always there. The road is never just a road. And a friendly face might not be friendly at all when you're standing on the edge of a life-changing decision. So, I have to ask you, where is your crossroads? What's that clear, calculated choice in your life? The one where a simple transaction promises you everything you've ever wanted for a price you don't fully understand yet.
And what about your forest edge? That wild, scary boundary where you're not facing a deal, but a hard truth about who you are, where it's not about a contract, but about a test of your character when faced with sacrifice.
Really think about it. When you get to that critical moment, that geometric point of fate in your own life, who's waiting for you there? Is it the deal maker or is it the silent witness?
Always remember, fate isn't something you just find. It's something you actively forge in those in-between spaces, between what you know and what you don't. The choice, traveler, has always been yours. Choose wisely.